Winter in the mountains was supposed to be peaceful, even magical. I had rented a remote cabin for a week to escape the noise of city life and reconnect with myself. It was picturesque, a small wooden house nestled in the pines, with snow falling softly each night. The first few days were serene. I spent my time reading, sipping hot cocoa, and watching the snow fall through frosted windows. The quiet was comforting, but on the third night it began to feel oppressive. I was by the fireplace when I heard it for the first time. A faint knock at the front door. I froze, staring at the entrance. Who would be out here in this weather? My phone had no signal, and the nearest town was a 30-minute drive. Slowly, I approached the door, peering through the peephole. Nothing. The porch was empty, the snow undisturbed. I told myself it was just the wind, or maybe a branch. But deep down, I knew something was off. That night, as I lay in bed, the knocking started again. This time it came from the back door. It was a rhythmic knock, deliberate and patient. I crept to the back door and looked out the small window above the lock. The snow-covered yard was still. No tracks, no signs of anyone or anything. The next morning, I found something that sent a chill down my spine. Just outside the cabin, there were footprints in the snow. Bare, human-like footprints. They started a few feet from the house and ended at the back door. There were no tracks leading away. I told myself it was a prank. Maybe some local kids were messing with me, but I couldn't shake the growing unease. That evening, the knocking returned, louder this time. And it wasn't just at one door. It came from all sides, the front, the back, even the windows. The sound was relentless, surrounding me. My heart raced as I grabbed the fire poker and shouted, "Who's there?" Silence. Then a whisper. It was faint, almost like the wind, but it was unmistakably a voice. "Let me in." I backed away from the door, my hands trembling. The whispers continued, coming from all around the cabin. They weren't words I understood, but they were chilling, guttural, and wrong. The lights flickered, and the fireplace went out, plunging the room into darkness. My flashlight barely cut through the gloom as I pressed myself against a wall, trying to stay calm. Suddenly, the whispers stopped. In the silence, I heard something even worse, breathing. It was soft but deliberate, coming from inside the cabin. My flashlight scanned the room, landing on the open door to the bedroom. I hadn't left it open. Slowly, I stepped toward it, the fire poker gripped tightly in my hand. The beam of light shook as I reached the doorway. The bed was empty, but the window was wide open, snow blowing in. And then I saw it, a figure standing just outside, staring in. Its face was pale, almost translucent, with hollow eyes that seemed to suck in the light. Its mouth stretched into a grotesque grin, showing rows of jagged, blackened teeth. It raised a hand, and I realized it was beckoning me. I slammed the window shut and locked it, my heart pounding. The figure didn't move. It just stood there, its grin widening. The knocking returned, louder than ever, shaking the cabin. The whispers grew frantic, overlapping and echoing in my ears. I couldn't take it anymore. Grabbing my keys, I ran for the door, throwing it open and sprinting to my car. As I drove away, the figure didn't chase me, but I saw it in the rearview mirror, standing in the middle of the road, watching me with that horrific grin. I didn't stop driving until I reached the town. I told the locals what happened, but they just exchanged uneasy glances. One of them finally spoke. "You were staying in the old Miller cabin, weren't you?" I nodded, confused. People don't stay there anymore. Not after the Millers disappeared. They were snowed in one winter, and when the thaw came, their cabin was empty. No bodies, no tracks, just empty. Another local added, "They say something's still there, waiting for someone to come back. It likes to knock first." I left town that same day and never returned. Now every winter I hear knocking, not at my door, but in my dreams. And sometimes when I wake up, I see footprints in the snow outside my window,